I'm Haley Hoops, and this past weekend I got to play Strauss's Don Quixote. And I thought it would be a good idea to make a video about variation 7 and 8, at least the second horn part, for those out there who are trying to learn it. Variation 7 and 8 of Don Quixote for a second horn player are pretty essential excerpts. I have a few tips about playing them. Practice it louder, like way louder than you want to play it. And then back off and keep it at one forte. Play it with your best forte so that the horn doesn't get out of control. You don't really need to play it with edge. You can change the color once it gets to the fortissimo, but really try to keep the sound as even as possible throughout that really low basement. If you start it too loud, it makes playing the pedal G, that measure with the pedal G, pretty hard to keep it as loud as like the first measure. So try to kind of gauge it of like how loud can I play the pedal G. That's probably how loud you should start the excerpt. I like to keep the quarter note around 88, so it kind of keeps the tempo moving, and it actually makes it so I don't have to breathe as often and can keep a sustained sound. One of the things I notice most with my students is they don't sustain through the notes that should be sustained. So that would be in the middle of the measure and at the end of the measure. That's where you can sound really strong, is if you really keep that sound going through that. So that one, and then here. That one. Keep it all sustained to the end of the measure. In variation 8, that one I used to be so afraid of because I thought, oh my gosh, I can't play this that soft. I won't be able to do it. So I finally kind of came to the realization I don't really have to play it that soft. I think I just had a lot of teachers that scared me into thinking I needed to play it that soft. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to give you license to play it a healthy piano. And that means start the thing with sort of an anchor on the low C so that your air is already going, so you can keep the register going up. And finally, for variation 8, don't be afraid to switch between F horn and B flat horn. So I start on F horn and then I switch to B flat horn. So I stay on F horn on those first two notes. I know there are some people who immediately go to B flat horn on the G. they switch there. So you have to kind of figure out which one works better for me. Or in some ways, the 1 and 3 B flat horn, maybe I should have done that. That does work pretty well. But you kind of have to think like, well, which one's more in tune? Which one feels easier for me? The best thing to be for any audition is the most confident in what you believe in yourself. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And there's variation 7 and 8. You can actually hear the second horn player on this video. Thanks.